I'm Edward Warfield. I'm the publisher of City Biz. I'm honored today to interview Kory Geans, who's the Chief Investment Officer for Middleburg Communities. Welcome, Kory.
Welcome. How you doing, Edwin? Nice seeing you.
Good to see you. Can you provide an introduction to Middleburg Communities? How many apartments, your footprint, contributed capital?
Middleburg Communities, we've developed or acquired over 20,000 apartment units, totaling almost $3 billion in value, with a primary focus in the Southeast. We were founded in 2004 by my business partner, Chris Finley. Now with a track record that spans almost 20 years, we have a fully vertically integrated real estate operating company. It includes acquisition, development, general contracting, research, asset management, and property management. We really pride ourselves on having built out and now controlling the entire value chain as it relates with the real estate investment business, identifying opportunities all the way through execution.
As Chief Investment Officer, what are your primary responsibilities?
Yeah, of course. As much as I like the strategy formulation part of my job, the real primary day-to-day responsibility is keeping the Middleburg teams focused and disciplined while pursuing those opportunities. We have a rigorous process for evaluating deals, and it can sometimes weigh on the teams. So reinforcing the process daily is one of the primary functions. Second to that is probably spending a lot of time with the asset management team and really trying to build open chains of communication between us and our investors.
And can you highlight some of Middleburg's recent projects, the ones in Huntsville, Richmond, Raleigh-Durham, and Jacksonville?
Our Huntsville single-family rental project was our first SFR project, and we're really proud to have it under construction at this point. Our single-family rental product is branded the Hamlet, and each community is well-located, environmentally friendly design, and new urban planning concepts with all the amenities a resident would expect in the market rate apartment community as well. Huntsville was actually capitalized in an opportunity zone, so it's going to be helped long-term. Richmond, Raleigh, and Jacksonville are all getting ready to start breaking ground. We have a majority of the necessary approvals and finishing up on some of the construction costs, but those should be breaking ground in the near term. We also have a new apartment project that's going to break ground here in the next week or so. So we're staying pretty busy.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the Hamlet SFR Initiative? How many units you're building, and which cities and markets is the program being focused on?
Yeah, we have some really great partners that are supporting Middleburg in its development of the Hamlet brand. Our current pipeline and business plan for the Hamlet properties will include probably 30 to 40 communities and approximately 10,000 units over the next 2 to 3 years. The primary markets are all the normal cast of characters: Richmond, Charlotte, Raleigh, Nashville. But we're certainly not afraid to go to some of the smaller markets either. Wilmington, Savannah, Myrtle Beach, they've treated Middleburg really well over the years. We have a ton of comfort in those markets, and we expect to develop the Hamlet brand there as well.
So I was recently reading the Southeast and MidAtlantic market reports, and it was pretty interesting to see the dynamism in some of those markets. Can you highlight some of the findings from those reports?
Yeah, I think we're all surprised by the recovery for starters. The rent growth that we've seen and the demand that is present today far exceeds our internal projections. Additionally, the limited number of construction starts in 2020 was expected. The continued challenges well into 2021 were a bit of a surprise. Those limited construction starts, followed by the current challenges, are preventing a lot of projects from getting out of the ground. The challenges are not just lumber or labor, which get all the headlines, but they also include just plain old municipal delays. It's not that they're slow or not engaged, but everyone's still trying to figure out their day-to-day and what the priorities are. So the development process has been difficult. I share all that to say that the construction pipeline is slow to recover. It's certainly going to have impacts on the supply-demand equation in the near term. Our research is indicating that the next 3 to 7 years is going to have even further imbalance than what we've experienced in the past in favor of the landlord rather than the renter. So we continue to really want to develop more housing and take advantage of that, and also help kind of relieve some of that pressure from those residents.
And so how do you use proprietary research and data analysis to identify market opportunities, and where do you see those opportunities?
Look, multifamily investing is quite simple at its core. We need demand to exceed supply, and our rents to be relatively affordable to the cohort providing the demand. Our research has indicated, much like everyone else's research, that the greatest amount of demand is coming from the middle market renter. There's no secret there. So the question is where the demand is occurring in our markets, and how do we deliver the projects in the most cost-efficient manner? Controlling the value chain is how we keep our cost lowish, under control. No one can really control costs, but we can avoid unnecessary expenses and fees by keeping everything house and determining where our research comes in. Determining demand is where our research comes into play. Now, the challenge historically has been developing a more nuanced understanding of where this demand will materialize in specific markets. To accomplish that, we've spent a significant amount of time tracking the demographics in our target markets. The challenge historically has always been the data is quite old. So we had to build, really proprietary models that help capture not only the information from our portfolio that we own, the current demographic trends, but as well as just boots on the ground knowledge that really comes together and helps us have a better picture. And to really pull all that together, we use a pretty robust GIS system that allows us to map, probably over 50 different criteria that show where we expect demand to materialize at a greater rate than other areas. We use that GIS system, which is sucking in all that different data from different places we either purchase it from or provide the inputs ourselves. And it's an output that we share with our acquisition teams who are either chasing land sites or existing assets for our acquisition business.
So prior to joining Middleburg Communities, your career includes stints at Parmenter Realty Partners in Grosvenor. Can you tell us about your career and the decision to join Middleburg Communities?
The time at both Parmenter and Grosvenor were just the perfect environments to allow me to work on my craft day in and day out with a very prescribed program in place. They were very well-established organizations that gave me fantastic training and ultimately taught me how to think about risks in real estate. During those years, I invested in office, industrial, multifamily, which gave me a real appreciation for the multifamily asset class. Middleburg was an opportunity to really leverage that experience and join a rapidly growing organization that gave me the opportunity to have a significant amount of say in what our strategies are and how we could build out the teams to execute those strategies. Middleburg is only focused on multifamily, which is where I had the strongest amount of conviction. It also is only focused largely in the Southeast, which again is where I thought a majority of the demand would really kind of materialize. That being said, the only thing left open for me was culture, and you don't really know until you take the leap. And I can say now, having been here close to 6 years, that it's probably the best part of the job. We really spend a lot of time developing our investment strategies as well as developing our culture. We will defend our investment strategies, but we really defend our culture at all costs. It's very important to us.
So what are some of the important trends, and how is Middleburg capitalizing on them?
Yeah, look, Middleburg we've prided ourselves on avoiding trends and trying to be a long-term owner of real estate in markets that are experiencing growth and being in the kind of right place at the right time and really kind of managing our downside risk. We've remained very focused and disciplined, as mentioned previously, and we do our best to not chase trends. However, we do find ourselves today in the middle of two significant trends. They are single-family rental and just suburban housing in general. Really hate kind of calling them trends. They've just been our business for so long now. But Middleburg started working on the Hamlet program, which is our single-family rental business, back in 2018, before COVID, before it was in all of the headlines. We began developing our our suburban apartment communities in early 2015, while a lot of investors were still focused on downtown urban core. Not that that was a bad idea, but this has just been the business that we developed. So we've really built out the capabilities in the pipeline, and we certainly didn't expect those capabilities in that pipeline to become trendy by any means. But we've certainly found ourselves in that position, and we have a strong conviction in both of those themes. Just general suburban rental housing and the single family rental programs. We think both of them are going to have long legs for a very long time, both just true kind of demographic changes and fundamentals, but as well as consumer preferences continue to provide demand in both of those themes.
So is there any part of the Middleburg community story that you haven't shared with us? Any other insights that you'd like to contribute?
No, look, I think you've done a fantastic job. You asked a lot of the right questions that we really wanted to kind of explore. But look, I think Middleburg, as always, is excited about what is occurring in our markets. We have offices in Charleston, Charlotte, Atlanta, and looking to expand into Florida from an actual physical presence. So, Middleburg's continuing to grow, and we always encourage kind of open dialogue with investors and even competitors. And we overshare, and we think there's plenty of opportunity for everybody. So, we just want to continue building our brand and becoming kind of best-in-class developer in the business. So we appreciate these opportunities to discuss it with you all, and hopefully, many more.
Well, Kory, I want to thank you for sharing your time and yours and Middleburg Communities' vision for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Evan.